Identify leading coefficient and find the number of terms. Okay. So standard form for a polynomial. What do? Jataya, go ahead.
You put them in order by the greatest, what's the greatest exponent?
Okay. So normally, like in number 1 and number 2, that's pretty easy, right? Because you're just looking at the individual exponents. When you have more than one exponent in a term, though, do you remember what you have to do with those exponents?
Add them up.
Add them up, yep. So this piece really has a degree of 6 because 4 plus 2 is 6. This one would have a degree of 4. This one would have a degree of 5 because remember that A has a 1. And then this one would have a degree of 7. Okay? And then I would put them in order based on that. Okay? Now the other thing we talked about, because we learned how to do standard form before we talked about this adding the exponents together thing, the other thing you could do is just go by the A's and just put the A's in order, and then if you hit ones that are tied, like here we have A to the 4th, here we have A to the 4th, then you could go to the B's as sort of a tiebreaker. Okay? But the correct way to put it in standard form, that's why that's so blurry. The correct way to put it in standard form is to look at the overall degree, which means the sum of the exponents. Okay? So my standard form would look like this. 5a to the 4th, b to the 3rd. Then I would go to this one. Plus 7a to the 4th, b squared. Minus 6ab to the 4th. Minus 2a squared, b squared. Okay? Does that make sense for standard form? That one was tricky for standard form.
Yeah.
So then what's the degree? 7. Okay, the degree is the largest of all of the ones added together. So 6, 4, 5, 7. 7 is going to be my degree.
What? No, you have to do the biggest one of the biggest exponent.
You have to do the biggest total. When you have more than one exponent in a term, like here I have an exponent of 4 and an exponent of 2, but this whole term has a degree of 6.
Yeah.
So you have to go with the biggest one of those.
That one has a degree of 7, though.
Nope, the degree is the exponents put together. So 4 and 2 make 6. Here, 3 and 4 make 7. 7's my biggest one, so that's my degree. Does that make sense, Colvin?
I thought it was the biggest number in front of the biggest
Oh.
one with the biggest exponent.
Okay, that is, I think you are mixing up degree and leading coefficient. Okay? Degree is the exponents. Leading coefficient is the number in front, but it's not the biggest one necessarily. It's just the number in front. This one would be a leading coefficient of 5.
Like I thought it was the one in front of the one with the highest exponent.
Nope, the leading coefficient is just the one in front.
Wait, what?
Of what?
Wait, the leading
Which one?
coefficient?
Okay.
I didn't know which one.
Now you didn't confuse me. I was good, and
Okay.
then you started asking questions.
Let me make sure we're all with me. Everyone's listening?
Yeah.
Okay. When you've got it written in standard form,
Okay.
the leading coefficient is the one in front,
So
the
5.
5. Now, Colvin, it is always going to be the one in front of the one with the biggest exponent because the biggest exponent should always be in front. Okay?
Okay.
But it's not the individual exponents, it's the total. So here we've got 7 as a total. So the 5 is the leading coefficient.
But that's
yeah, that's
only
what I
when
had.
you have.
Okay.
But that's only when you have
Right.
two things.
Yes. Yes, 2 thingy things. Yeah.
I didn't add the exponents. That was my problem.
Okay, that's what I thought was your
I
problem.
was fine on the other ones, though.
Okay. Yeah, the other ones were easier.
Yeah.
And then for D, now let's pay attention to this one and stop talking. It says give the number of terms. How many terms are there here?
4.
4. And then it says classify. Now classify would be like monomial, binomial, trinomial. But for 4, we don't have any fancy name. Okay, after trinomial, we just call them all polynomials.
Wait, I thought it was quadrinomial.
Nope, there's no quadrinomial. That is what everyone always thinks, but
So what if it's just 1? What is that called?
that's a monomial.
Okay, so it was monomial, binomial, trinomial.
That's right.
How can you have a monomial? Just write x?
Like 5x would be
Oh.
a monomial. Anything where it's just, there's no plus or minus anywhere. That's a monomial. Okay? So that process was probably a little less complicated in 1 and 2. Are there either of those that you feel like you need to see?
Girl.
I need to see number 10.
Okay,
Wait,
we're not to number 10 yet. Hold on, slow down.
Yeah, but those ones are easy.
Okay, I do want to go over 4 and 5. Because 4 and 5 were, I think, I got the most questions on 4 and 5 out of anything on the whole thing. Okay, so let's talk through 4 and 5. It's asking you for perimeter and area, and those are two different things. I want you to slow your brain down for a second and think about, how do you find perimeter of anything, ever? Anna? You add up all the sides. So whatever shape I give you, to find perimeter, we're just adding up all the sides. Okay? So for this rectangle, guys, whoever's having the side conversations, please stop. I need to make sure I go all the way around. So I have to fill in this side and fill in this side, but you're just going to match with these two. So for perimeter, it's going to look like this. 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. Oh, minus 1, sorry. Plus x squared plus 5. And then plus that same thing again. 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. And then plus x squared plus 5.
All right.
Okay. Notice that was all addition. Perimeter is all adding. Okay? The only thing I have to do here is to simplify, to combine my like terms. You have to simplify. Now here's the thing. Someone pointed this out first hour too. Technically these directions do just say find an expression. This is an expression. Okay? But on your test it does say that you have to simplify. So let's go ahead and simplify. So I'm going to put together all of my x squareds. Now here's where I want you to be careful because people get this mixed up. What is 3x squared plus 3x squared?
6x4.
4.
Okay.
Oh, it's plus, so it's 3x squared, 6x squared.
Right. Okay, when you are adding like terms, D, you with me back there? Okay. When you are adding like terms, you are only combining the coefficients. When I say 3x squared and 3x squared, it's like I have 3 squares in this hand and 3 squares in this hand. So altogether I have 6 squares. I'm not changing what I have. I'm just saying I have more of them. So I have 3x squared, 3x squared. Oh, I also have a 1x squared and a 1x squared. So when I add those up, I'm just adding the coefficients. 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 8x squared. Okay, 8x squared. Then I'm going to do 2x, and 2x makes 4x. And then negative 1 and 5. Negative 1 and 5 gives me 8. Okay? So my total perimeter is 8x squared plus 4x plus 8. Questions on that? Okay. When you are adding polynomials together, your total degree does not get bigger. This is a good way for you to check to make sure you didn't combine something that you weren't supposed to. See how the biggest these had were x squareds? That means the biggest I should have in my perimeter is an x squared. Okay, because you're just adding, so your degree can't change. Now let's talk area. How do you do area of a rectangle?
Multiply base and height.
Okay, so I'm just going to multiply this and this together. Yep. So 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. And now I'm multiplying by x squared plus 5.
Fold it.
And by FOIL, remember FOIL doesn't technically work because this has 3 terms in it, but we're going to distribute. So what is 3x squared times x squared?
4x to the 4th.
Almost. You're mixing things up again.
To the 4th.
I was right.
3x to the 4th. 3 times 1 is 3, and x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. 3x squared times 5 is 15x squared. 2x times x squared is 2x to the 3rd. 2x times 5 is 10x. I don't know what is beeping.
Microwave. Sounds like a cell phone.
It sounds,
That's a ringtone.
yeah, but it's,
That's a text tone.
all right. I'll check mine. I've never heard that on mine before, but
Oh,
It does that noise when Wait a minute. I lost my phone a while ago. My phone makes that noise when it has a missed call.
Okay,
Did
hold
you
on.
find the phone in here?
I'll look in just a minute. Negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. And then negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Okay, so I multiplied all of that out. Everyone good on that? Again, a good way to check. I've got 3 terms here and 2 terms here. So altogether, when I multiply together, I should end up with 6 terms. Now I need to combine. So I have a 3x to the 4th. I've got a 2x to the 3rd. I've got 15x squared and minus x squared, so that's going to give me 14x squared. I've got a 10x, and I've got a minus 5. And there's your total area right down there at the bottom. Okay. How you doing on that? Does that make sense? The difference between perimeter and area? All right, let's look at the triangle. The triangle is going to be a little bit different.
Just with the area,
Yeah, just with the area, you're right.
change your base and your height,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're good to go.
So for the triangle for perimeter, I'm still just adding up all the sides. So for perimeter, I'm going to add this, this, and this. I'm adding all 3. So y squared plus 4y minus 5 plus y squared plus 2y plus y squared minus 6y. Okay? And then I'm going to combine. What is y squared plus y squared plus y squared?
3y squared.
Good, 3y squared. Okay, you're not combining any exponents there. And then I've got a 4y and a 2y and a negative 6y. What's going to happen when I add all those together?
You just have y.
0, so I don't even have to put that in there.
Oh, you ain't got no y either?
And then a negative 5. And I guess that's it. Negative 5. So perimeter is 3y squared minus 5.
Got it.
Good?
Well, where'd the y go?
It can't, because 4 plus 2 is 6,
Yeah,
and
I
6
got
minus
that
6 is
part.
0.
It's critical 0.
You could write a 0y in there, but if it's 0, you don't have to write it. Okay? All right, now let's talk about area with triangles. How do you find area of a triangle? Isaac, go ahead.
Half times base times height.
Okay, 1/2 times base times height. So it's important to know that in this triangle, when you're finding area, you don't need this at all. Okay, because you just need base and height. This you only needed to do the perimeter. Okay? So I would do 1/2 times that first big parenthesis, y squared plus 4y minus 5.
Can I say the answer?
Just a second, because it's going to take a few steps to get us to the answer. Okay, what I would recommend at this point, I know that you're tempted to take care of that 1/2 first, because it's in front. I would actually multiply the parentheses together first. Okay, so I would do the parentheses first, leave the 1/2 hanging out outside. And I'm just going to distribute here. So y squared times y squared is y to the 4th. Y squared times negative 6y is negative 6y to the 3rd. 4y times y squared is 4y to the 3rd. 4y times negative 6y is negative 24y squared. Negative 5 times y squared is negative 5y squared. And negative 5 times negative 6y is positive 30y. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and simplify that inside there. Isaac, you want to do the simplifying?
Yes.
Okay.
Half times y to the 4th.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
Sorry.
You're one step ahead of where I'm at.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I'm just combining stuff in here.
Okay.
Do you want me to just take care of that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would get y to the 4th. And then I'm combining these two. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Y to the 3rd. Negative 24y squared and negative 5y squared makes negative 29y squared. And then I have a 30y. Okay, Isaac, take it away.
Half times y to the 4th
Yeah.
Minus 2y to the third, minus 25y to the second, plus 30y.
Okay. So you did the 1/2 times this. I think you forgot to multiply, that 1/2 has to be multiplied by everything in here.
Oh.
Okay. So you were right to multiply by the 1/2 in the front, but you've got to multiply everything. So, first of all, did it mess anybody up doing the 1/2 times y to the 4th?
Well, I did it wrong.
I have a lot of people who want to say 1/2 times y to the 4th is y squared. That 1/2 doesn't have anything to do with that 4. It's just like if I asked you to do 5 times x squared, you would just make it 5x squared, right? So when you're doing a 1/2 times something like that, it's just going to turn out looking like that, 1/2 y to the 4th. What's 1/2 times 2?
1.
1, so that'd be just 1y to the 3rd. 1/2 times 29 is 14.5. And 1/2 times 30 is 15. Okay, and there's your final answer for area. So, kind of a mess. Okay, make sure you have that